guys, welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here. First things first, guys, Happy New Year! Woohoo! It's a whole new year. I hope 2022 brings us all sorts of amazing things, but I thought it was the perfect time to do an updated Disney World right now tips and tricks video. I have done several of these. You guys seem to like them. As you probably know, I just got back from a very long Disney World vacation. We were there for 10 park days. That's right. We flew there. We stayed at 3 different resorts, and I definitely, tried out a bunch of new things, including Genie Plus, and was kind of there in the heat of COVID and the holidays and peak travel and crazy crowds. I kind of saw and did it all. So I thought this was the perfect chance to kind of break things down a little bit and give you guys kind of my top 5 things regarding Disney World right now that you should probably either consider, know about, or plan for. Sound good? All right, so let's start with the first thing. Kind of the elephant in the room. I feel like it's been the elephant in the room for the past almost 2 years, and that is COVID. COVID is here. COVID hasn't gone away. And of course, I was at Disney World when COVID was definitely spiking up pretty high. And I get a lot of you who ask me, Nina, what is Disney doing for COVID? What are you doing as your family per COVID? What is it really like in the parks regarding COVID? So I thought I would kind of break it down a little bit to you guys. And I'm here to give you guys the honest truth, right? I am not trying to candy coat anything. This is just kind of what it is. When it comes to Disney World and COVID, it's like no one cares. Some people are still wearing their masks, which is great. But Disney, Disney crowds are back to pre-COVID standards, right? Disney is crowded, it is busy. COVID isn't really stopping people from vacationing anymore, so those wait times are longer. Everything is kind of back to the way it was, with the exception, of course, that there is that mask policy going around, which means you do have to wear your mask indoors and in mass transportation like buses and the Skyliner and the monorail. But what really does that mean? What's the reality of it once you enter the Disney World bubble? What are we seeing? And that's what I'm going to share with you guys. First thing is, like I said, people are flocking to Disney, COVID or not. Many people are wearing their mask, but you will see majority of people are trying not to. They are whipping their masks off as soon as possible. I saw so many people, literally the second we were off that ride, the second we were in outdoor space, they were whipping those masks off. So just expect that. If you are COVID nervous, if you are pro mask, just don't expect everyone else to be masking as much as you are. And the rule is indoors only, which means anytime you are outdoors, you don't need to wear your mask. So if being around other people, massive crowds of other people without their masks on, then you just need to kind of, think about that for yourself. The parades, the fireworks, all those things was not stopping people from not masking. It is kind of a do what you want situation when it comes to being outdoors. Now, when COVID first kind of happened, Disney put sanitizer machines everywhere. Before and after every ride and every nook and cranny, there is a sanitizer machine. And that's great. However, due to the crowds and who knows what else, those sanitizer machines seem to be empty more often than not. So here's my tip. Make sure you pack your own sanitizer, guys. Pack your own wipes, wipe down those tables. I personally, we give each of our children their own sanitizer spray. It actually hooks on their bag. So any single time we are getting off a ride, you're touching handles, you're pulling down handles, you're shooting things, whatever the ride is, you are touching stuff. So as soon as we got off the ride, of course, we are all spritzing our hands or attempting to use that sanitizer. So just note that even though Disney has the hand sanitizer, doesn't mean it's always full. Okay, so just kind of know that in advance. And when it comes to masks, I have seen lots of masks on the ground. I have seen lots of people shove masks in pockets or in their backpack, and then they get to a ride and they can't find their mask. And they're digging through their bag trying to find this mask that who knows what happened to it. So I'm giving you guys a heads up right now. We wore ours around a lanyard. You've seen them in my photos. The mask kind of just chills right here. I find that incredibly handy because when I didn't want to wear my mask, I could just pop it off and I knew it was kind of safe in one spot. I didn't have to go searching through my backpack or my pockets trying to find my mask. It was incredibly helpful for my kids because every time they wanted a snack or eat a granola bar or something, they're popping off their mask and I didn't have to find a nice sanitized place to put that mask. And if you're at all kind of nervous, just note that you should probably avoid indoor spaces as much as possible. So if you prefer to eat outdoors, seek out those outdoor tables. For us, because it was a little bit on the colder side, we tried to eat near the door, right? So knowing the door was going to open and we would get fresh air, that was kind of helpful for us. Yes, we were there for 10 days and we did, knock on wood, we came back COVID free. We have not had COVID. So yeah, I really don't know what else to say, guys. COVID is here. COVID is happening. Numbers are spiking, but it is not stopping people from going to the parks and enjoying themselves. So if you choose to go to the parks during this situation, then just note that that's what's happening. So you can extra plan to protect yourselves and make sure you're doing what you want to do to feel safe. Again, I am not in a place of judgment. People, you do you, right? I am not here to judge. We wore our masks pretty much 24/7. I took them off a few times to film, a 30-second clip or whatnot, but otherwise we were wearing our masks. That's just where we feel safe. Again, you got to do you, right? But let's move on, shall we? COVID. Who's tired of talking about that subject? Yeah, me. Okay, Genie Plus. Wait, who's tired of talking about that subject? Yeah, me. But Genie Plus is important. So yeah, for the new year, Genie Plus is here to stay, guys, whether you hate it or not. And it's kind of like a love-hate relationship, right? We all want to hate it. It is the Fast Pass system beefed up that we now have to pay for, but it's working. It's working. People are getting on more rides. People are saving their time waiting in line and riding more rides. It just is working. So if you are on the fence, should I get it or should I not get it? I'm gonna say it's working, guys. So, but here's something you need to know about Genie Plus. First, it is not a perfect system, right? You are not going to get every single ride that you want to ride at the time you want to ride it. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So you kind of have to let that part go. The other thing that's not going to happen is you are most likely not going to get all the key, important, big popular rides that you love all in one day under the Genie Plus system. You might have to wait standby for some of those rides. So I know a lot of people are getting frustrated because they couldn't get Slinky Dog or they couldn't get Slinky Dog and this and that in one day. Just note that's kind of just how it's working, especially when there's crowds. So you kind of have to pick and choose. What are we going to focus on today? What will we focus on tomorrow? And note that some rides you just might have to wait standby for because that's just how the system works. But here's some key points for you to know. First thing, we definitely noticed that Disney appears to be inflating the standby queue line waits. There were several times where the ride sign would say, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. And both my kids there with their little watches were timing the minute we entered the line into when we actually got on the ride. And in many cases, we saw that wait time inflated about 20 to 25 minutes. I don't know if Disney's doing this on purpose to get you to purchase Genie Plus. I'm just saying we noticed it. We definitely noticed that the Lightning Lane people get to ride faster than the standby line people. So at the point when the standby line kind of meets the Lightning Lane line, you can totally see that the cast members are letting way more Lightning Lane people in the queue more than they're letting in standby people. So that means that those Lightning Lane people you are not waiting very long. I think at most we waited about 10 minutes for a ride when we did Lightning Lane. Lightning Lane being, of course, Genie Plus or the individual Lightning Lane. Like I said, we didn't wait more than 10 minutes to ride a ride. Again, that is huge considering some of those lines could easily be 45 minutes, 65 minutes. We saw several in the 65-minute zone while we were there. The other thing to note is if you are frustrated with Genie Plus or things are not working out for you, not every cast member can help you. So it really helps to know that if you're having issues, you need to go directly to one of the Blue Umbrella guest service teams. They are all over the parks. You can see them. It's these giant blue umbrellas. There are special guest service members in there that are going to help you specifically with your Genie Plus, with your Lightning Lane. You know, perhaps you purchased a ride and the ride is down and you can't ride it and you want a refund, you know, or you're having issues with the system. These are the people you talk to. Waiting in line to talk to a regular cast member is just going to cause frustration on your part because those cast members can't actually help you or fix the system. You do need to go directly to the Blue Umbrellas. And now, for my family, we kind of tried Genie Plus in 2 different complete options. So just note that you kind of have 2 ways to organize your Genie Plus passes for a day. You can either A, stack them every 2 hours, getting a new pass so that you can ride everything later in the day. So this was perfect for us, for example, on Christmas. So on Christmas, we went to breakfast at Ohana's. We didn't actually make it into the physical park till about noon or 1, but starting at 7 a.m. that day, I was stacking passes for later in the evening. So that meant that once we got to Magic Kingdom, which was relatively crowded, we already had a whole slew of rides already set up for us that we could just ride, which was great. So stacking later in the evening is great for people who like to sleep in, great for people who aren't arriving first thing in the morning, or great for people who have, you know, reservations in the morning that aren't going to get them to the park. It's also great because on a slightly lower crowded day, you could run to all the standby lines when they're shorter and then stack the rides in the afternoon for later. The other option, of course, is to pass ride. I just put out a video of us at Magic Kingdom where we did just that. At 7 a.m., I got Jingle Cruise. As soon as we were on Jingle Cruise, I passed another ride. While we were on that ride, I passed another ride, and so on and so forth. We got quite a few rides that way, but something to note, I didn't get anything uber big and popular, right? I didn't get any of the mountain rides or the fancy rides. I kind of just got your everyday rides because those were the things that we love and we had goals for that day. So just kind of note that there are 2 ways to do Genie Plus in the parks and it's working. It's not perfect, but it's working. If you're still confused on what Genie Plus is, please check out my videos. I have several, one where I explain thoroughly all 3 systems, one where I give you kind of my top 10 tips and tricks regarding Genie Plus, and so on. So let's move on to my 3rd tip regarding Disney World right now, and that is lines, but lines, not ride lines, right? Dining and restrooms. It's like I forgot how long all the restroom lines get. They were long, like out the door, around the corner, and all I kept remembering was back in the day when I had a toddler who really needed to use the restroom, and the lines are just long. So just note that now that we are back to pre-COVID crowd levels, that's pushing those restroom lines out. So try to use the restroom. We learned to use the restrooms that are not the most popular ones, right? Not the ones at ride exits, not the ones at the park entrance or park exit. There are often these little restrooms kind of in the corner that nobody knows about. And those are kind of our go-to restrooms. Also, make sure you go to the restroom before you get in a line. Just make sure you're always trying to use the restroom because that'll help that, you know, frantic in the middle of the line and someone has to go. The other issue, of course, is dining. Dining is popular. Everyone wants to eat. They especially all want to eat at the exact same time. So this is causing, dining lines to be longer. Also, getting your food takes longer. Finding a table could take longer because, again, the crowds are back. So try to utilize mobile ordering as much as you can and try to mobile order before you're hungry, right? Just because you don't plan on eating until 12:30 doesn't mean you can't consider where you're going to mobile order at 10 a.m. and get that process started, because all of these things are just taking longer. And if you're anything like me, once I hit hungry, I'm done. I need to eat, and I will instantly get into that hangry situation. So just try to avoid that. Plan ahead, mobile a little early, because on the mobile system, mobile ordering, you can say what time-ish you want your food to be ready by, and then plan that way. So kind of plan accordingly, look at the map, figure out where you might want to eat, where you might be headed depending on the rides that you're doing that day, and kind of plan ahead and get those mobile orders going. So just note that all those things are just taking longer. This includes table service dining, especially for us over the holidays. I don't know if people were sitting at their tables longer than they should have been. I don't know if food was just taking longer to prepare, but yeah, we were at our table for quite a bit of time. We were waiting for our table for quite a bit of time. So all those things are just kind of backed up and taking longer. So just prepare for all those things. Number 4 tip. Oh my goodness. Characters, guys. Characters are back, and I'm going to go with they're kind of everywhere. We saw so many characters in random little nooks and crannies. I was shocked. In one day we saw, let's see, Snow White, Jasmine, Belle, Aurora. We saw some other princess. Who was it? I can't remember. Maybe it was Mary Poppins. And then, of course, we were there for the holidays, so we saw Santa. We saw just several other people were just popping up. We saw Elsa and Anna. Characters are just everywhere, so definitely be on the lookout for characters. Over there by Epcot next to the Figment ride, we saw Joy from Inside Out. We saw Pooh Bear. We saw Piglet. It's just great seeing those characters out and about. And of course, Fairy Tale Hall, the town square, all those kind of places that used to house characters, those are back. Mickey is back, Minnie is back, the princesses are back. You can meet all of those great, amazing people. Just remember that we are still social distancing. So we are not hugging and getting autographs and all those great things. There's a lot of kind of photo bombing type pictures going on. Yeah, we saw Jack Sparrow. I'm just now it's coming back to me, all the characters that we saw, but they're back, guys. So for all of you who have been so worried about your kiddo or maybe yourself not seeing a certain character, they're back. And I didn't really notice too many people paying attention to them. It's we're so used to not having the characters that I walked right up to Belle. No one in line to see Belle. It was great. We had a long conversation. And then later, Aurora, the same thing. She was telling me all about the fairy godmothers and asking me if I have any fairy godmothers and all that great stuff. So yeah, guys, characters are back. Between the parades, the cavalcades, them just kind of being there or purposely going to see them in their spots, back. Good times, right? Number 5. Okay, guys, this is a loaded tip right now, so bear with me. So, of course, 2022, the big change that Disney announced was no more Disney's Magical Express. That's right. So Disney's complimentary airport transfer service ends days ago. It officially ends January 10th for people who are in the parks right now. They can get Magical Express on the way home up to January 10th. After that, they are done. No more Disney's Magical Express. And of course, I did hear through the grapevine that this wasn't exactly Disney's choice. It was kind of a contract issue between Mears and Disney. So before we get all upset at Disney, just remember there are always 2 parties to a situation. It does take 2 to tango, right? So we can't instantly just blame Disney. But the situation is, how am I going to get to my resort, right? Okay, so I arrive at MCO. How am I going to get to my resort? I'm getting a ton of you guys asking me, Nina, how are you getting to your resort? What are you recommending for clients? So here we go, guys. Tip number 5. So I will probably do a more thorough video on this subject as kind of the transportation systems work out and people are testing them and all those great things. But this is what I have to say. First of all, there are tons of ways that you can get from the airport to your Disney resort. And I don't think so far there is any one perfect situation. There is definitely reasons to pick one or the other depending on your needs and your circumstance. Obviously, the easiest is just to Uber or Lyft, right? Just when you arrive, get on the app, Uber and Lyft to your resort. Now, this is great for people who don't have to worry about car seats. This is also great for people who don't have a ton of luggage. Maybe you're just 2 people, therefore Uber and Lyft could be perfect for you. Uber and Lyft is not perfect for me because I am a family of 4 and we pack food, lots of food. So we have at least 4 to 5 decent sized suitcases. There's no way I'm gonna shove that into an Uber. So unfortunately for me, Uber is out. Can't Uber, but perhaps you can. So the other forefront situation here is Mears. Mears is the company who drove Disney's Magical Express all these years previous. So they have a long-standing history, and they have come out and said that they will transport guests in their new system called Mears Connect. However, this new situation is just not perfect, right? So let me give you some numbers here. Mears Connect is $32 for adult, $27 per child, round trip. However, they will not allow you to install car seats, bring car seats. They will not offer car seats, nothing with car seats, which Disney's Magical Express didn't do car seats either. However, this is the kicker. Mears Connect is not going to guarantee which type of vehicle you will be in. So you could be in a motor coach, a shuttle, a regular like 7-passenger van, or even a car, which seems easy enough, right? I don't care how you get me there, just get me there. But this is a problem with parents who have younger kids who want them to be in some sort of car seat or safer situation like in a giant motor coach. So this has been causing issues with Mears Connect. Also, up until about a couple days ago, it was really difficult to alter your reservation with Mears Connect. So if you had a flight delay or a flight change, that was a whole big problem as well. But just note that Mears Connect is an option. Mears also offers Mears Express, which is basically a private driver situation. And for 4 people, it's $250 plus tip. And I'm going to tell you right now that a lot of these companies suggest tip to be 20%. So you guys do the math. A $250 card situation plus a 20% tip. There you have it. So the other situations or the other companies that are kind of out that I am going to mention, again, I'm just going to mention them quick. You guys can research them. You guys can decide if this is the best method for you. So far I've done Uber, Lyft, and I've talked to you guys about Mears. Another company is called Southern Elegance Limo. Now, I think I'm going to personally try them here on our next trip. I did get a quote for 4 people. It was roughly $240 plus that 20% tip. But this is what I love about this company. They are willing to drive me past a local Publix for me to pick up my grocery order. I love this. No more ordering from Amazon Prime, no more worrying about someone delivering my groceries. I can just pre-order through Publix. They will drop me off. I will pick it up and we can be on our way. I also love this service because it's going to be a direct airport to resort service, which means I don't have to go to, 3 to 4 different other Disney resorts. It's just my family and I get to pick up my groceries. So again, about $240 plus tip for Southern Elegance Limo. Another option out there is called Away We Go Transportation. Now, I have not personally used them, but they come very highly recommended from all the other travel agents out there. They are roughly $90 one way plus tip. Now here's the kicker for this company is that is supposed to include up to 11 passengers. So if you are a large group of people, only spending $90 per way seems like a really great option. They will also arrange, depending on your situation, if you want to stop at a grocery store, that's $20. If you want them to drop you off at the theme park, and they'll deliver your luggage to your resort. That was another, I think, about $20 for that situation. So Away We Go Transportation had a lot of options out there for you depending on your needs and what you want. And I didn't find the price to be too terrible. So another option for you guys. And then of course there is the Sunshine Flyer. Now this company just came out of the woodwork, right? We had been hearing about Mears forever and most people already signed up with them. And then all of a sudden the Sunshine Flyer came out and they are this awesome like train looking motor coach that is gonna start February 1st. Now here's the great thing about this company is all their vehicles will be giant motor coaches, which will come with seatbelts and a bathroom. They even claim they will have some sort of online entertainment on their motor coaches, which is great. That was another great thing people loved about the Disney's Magical Express is it kind of entertained you while you were waiting and trying to get to your resort. Sunshine Flyer says that their buses will come every 20 minutes, so you won't be waiting too long. And it says it should take up to 65 minutes to get you from airport to your resort. Now their price is $34 for adults and $25 per child, and that is round trip. Of course, you do have to tip and all those great things. Now the concerning thing about this company, again, I said nothing was perfect, is their hours of operation for you to call and contact someone is not 24/7. So if you have a flight delay or a flight cancel and you need to quickly call the transportation company and tell them, you need to cancel this or you need to change the time, kind of hard to do if they're not open 24/7. So just note that in advance, but they are tracking flights. So for the most part, that doesn't really happen to the majority of people, but it is something to kind of pay attention to. So again, here, those are kind of like my go-to transportation companies that I have been researching and thus suggesting to you guys. Again, not one of them is perfect, but one of them could be perfect for you and your situation. So as always, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Again, I just got back from the park, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. We experienced the COVID situation, the holiday craziness, Genie Plus, and all that good stuff. And we did have Mears transport us on the way back as well. So as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to hear more about Disney World right now and my tips and tricks, let me know in the comments. But as always, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. If the subscribe button is red, please click it, turn it gray, hit the bell icon for notifications, like this video, and comment. I want to know what kind of videos you want to watch, you want to see. I know my Genie Plus videos have been very popular. Thank you for that. I very much appreciate that. And I also want to say hi to all of my fans. I met several of you at Disney World this past few weeks, and it was really amazing to hear how much my videos are helping you guys and how much you love watching my videos. All these hours that I take filming and coming up with ideas, that just warms my heart. So thank you guys for coming up to me, telling me all those great things. And I hope you guys continue to enjoy my videos. But as always, guys, Happy New Year and mahalo for watching. Nina out.